Thank you. Dear colleagues, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the government of the Republic of Uzbekistan, it is a great honor and pleasure for me to welcome you all today. I want to thank Mr. Andrew Gelfuzo, Vice President of the Ronald Reagan Building and International Trade Center, for making the premises available for us and for all the excellent arrangements. I take this opportunity to pay my special tribute to Ms. Carolyn Lam, Chairman of the Board of the American Uzbekistan Chamber of Commerce, for the excellent organization of today's event. I'm delighted to look out at the audience and see such a strong showing of leaders, founders, and representatives of respectable companies, banks, and financial institutions in this event. Dear colleagues, regular events and meetings held in Washington and Tashkent contribute to strengthening of an open and friendly dialogue that embraces all new aspects of our relations. Yesterday's meeting of Trade and Investment Framework Agreement, today's Joint Business Forum, fully demonstrate goodwill and commitment to the of the parties to develop trade and investment cooperation between our countries. Dear friends, today, Uzbekistan is turning into a new platform for investment, finance, transparent transactions, and a genuine marketplace to accelerate the economic development of the Central Asian region. Availability of a promising market with healthy and young human capital, a legal system favorable to business growth, pro-business government, abundant raw materials, strategic geographical position for trade, and diversity of economic structure altogether form the solid foundation for this growing tendency. The past 2.5 years have shown why multinationals rank Uzbekistan as the foreign investment destination of their choice. The country is now systematically and confidently advancing along the path of radical reforms targeted primarily at promoting economic transparency. We succeeded in ensuring the financial stability of the state and reduced the fiscal burden on the business. Implementation of various high-tech investment projects has been initiated with a view to elevating competitiveness of our national economy. As such, introduction of a non-contact form of interaction between business and government bodies, further digitalization of the economy, and the government as a whole are altogether facilitating our resolute anti-corruption measures. Examples of the world-changing companies like Google, Apple, or Facebook, which were started in small garages, make us feel the true power and role of the private sector in the economy and realize the need to reduce the government's presence in the economy. In this regard, intensive work is underway to develop healthy competition, reduce the role of the state in the economy, create the most favorable business climate, protect private property, and take decisive actions against corruption. Investors are now proposed to acquire state-owned blocks of shares in the capital of large joint stock companies and commercial banks of the country. We also adopted the law on public-private partnership. Its principles determine the equality of partners before the law, transparency of procedures, competition, non-discrimination, and fight against corruption. Throughout the country, special reception rooms of the Prime Minister for investors and entrepreneurs have been created to ensure the observance of the rights of entrepreneurs and contribute to the elimination of emerging bureaucratic barriers and obstacles. The range of services in one-stop shops has been expanded significantly, with the types of public services provided increasing up to 300. We gained the first position among the Central Asian countries and second among the CIS countries in terms of liberal visa-free regime for travelers to our country. Today, citizens of 86 countries of the world can visit our country without a visa. The ongoing reforms are already yielding effective results. over the past years, Uzbekistan has 3 times been included to the list of top 10 reformer countries for creating the most favorable conditions as per doing business indices. As a result of the measures taken, the number of newly created foreign enterprises in Uzbekistan increased by 3 times last year. This year, we expect more than 2-fold increase of the foreign direct investments in Uzbekistan. Now that we have reached a position to achieve things we hadn't even thought possible a few years ago, our focal target is to enter the list of top 20 countries in the World Bank Doing Business ranking within the next few years. In this context, we are continuing the work on liberalization of our economy and taking practical measures to make it more investor-friendly. The intensification of accession process to the WTO and lifting of all restrictions on profit repatriation are just a few illustrations of the ongoing work in this direction. In general, the year 2019 has been declared in Uzbekistan as the year of active investments and social development, improving the investment climate, enhancing legislative framework, eliminating excessive administrative barriers, developing infrastructure are our main guidelines in the medium-term perspective. I want to emphasize that the reforms have already become irreversible, and you can be absolutely sure that the business environment in our country will only improve and the guarantees for investors will keep increasing. Thank you very much for your attention.